Good evening and welcome to a Rebels radio broadcast following the match at Daventry at the weekend. Looking forward to hopefully a victory against Leighton. I'm joined by joint manager Jon Underwood.
Evening, John.
You've had time to reflect on Daventry. How did you make it? What did you make of it?
Very disappointing in the end. Pleased with the performance. Obviously, when you concede in the 94th minute, as it was in the end, it's it was heartbreaking. Really, the lads put a lot of effort into the game. It was going to be a massive win for us, and we had to settle for a point. So it was a real kick in the teeth, and we're very disappointed on the coach on the way home. But you can't let these things get you down for too long. We've got 9 games left, so we've got that out of our system now, and we draw a line under it, and we go on to the next one.
What did you make of the refereeing? I know there was a bit of controversy about how long he played and what was going on. Did you think he affected the game?
I spoke to him. I spoke to him because he was going to add 3 minutes, and it was over 94 when they scored. But I'd prefer not to kind of go into the referee, to be honest. There were things we could have done to prevent the goal ourselves. You can argue all day long, should he have played as long as he did, but he did, and as I say, there are things that we could have done to stop them getting the chance in the first place. We could have, the free kick was a soft one to give away. Jake had the ball in his hands, and it wasn't the best of kicks from him, which then came straight back at us. That says, I think we prefer to look at the things we could have done differently rather than focus on the referee. So it was a disappointing goal to give away, but when you've got 20 odd players in a penalty area and a ball was played in with good quality, there's always a chance the ball can fall for them, and it did. So just one of those things.
Was the draw a fair result?
No, I thought we edged it. I know their manager thought it was a fair result, but I think that's quite normal that two different management teams have a different view of it. I think they thought they should have had a penalty. We thought we should have had one. They thought our second goal shouldn't have been allowed. I think the video we saw showed that it should have been. So, you always get a difference of opinion. Our feeling was that we did enough to win the game throughout the second.
2 points lost rather than 1 gained.
Yeah, once we got ourselves in front, I thought we held them at bay. I don't think Jake made a save. So from that point of view, we felt we were worth a 2-1, but it was a tight game. They always are with Daventry. So but it was 2 points dropped in the end for us.
And then moving on, Tuesday, a lot of the squad that haven't been playing that regularly or coming back from injury got some game time. I understand you went down and watched. How did it all go? Yeah,
me and Bakes went down and watched. They bad shot Lee, who in the combined counties, we know the manager well there, and he got 5 of our players a game, which was really good for them. So Ben Edwards and Guy, who've been out since Christmas, got their first games. Steve Duff, who's obviously barely played this year, got a game. Adam Cornell, who's not featured a lot recently, played, and young Seb Costello as well. And we were really pleased. It was all 5 of them showed great attitude. They worked ever so hard. They did the right things. Probably the highlight, I'd say, was Guy Hollis, who's a big player for us, and he came through the game completely unscathed. He looked outstanding, looked fit and strong, and that's a real plus. Now we can bring him back in.
Okay, so now moving forward, what else has happened in the squad during the week? You've signed a new player?
We've signed Gareth Risbridger. Yeah, Riz has been training with us on and off for about 4 or 5 weeks now. He's done a few of the warm-ups at games. He's trained when he can. He trained twice last week, and he's just trained again tonight. And he's a quality player. He's been a quality player in the Conference South for the last 10 years. He was a pro in his early days. So he's a fantastic player. He's been out for 18 months. That's the only issue with him. So we're trying not to rush him. Bakes and I know him well. He's a good lad. He knows some of our boys. He was with Woos and Warren at Staines, and he knows a few of the lads who are based around Bracknell. He knows them. So he's fitted in really well. He's a class player. I think we just hope we can get him to the point where he can start a game this year. I mean, we're going to initially look to have him on the bench and see if we can introduce him that way. Some of it's going to be a bit of confidence for him, having been out 18 months. But he's training really well, and hopefully it'll be a really good signing for us.
Will he automatically kind of come into the reckoning as soon as Rummy goes, as this is Rummy's last game at the weekend?
Well, yeah, we plan to put him on the bench Saturday, and see how the game goes as to whether we can involve him. So yeah, I mean, in terms of numbers, he's replacing Rummy, but he's not. He's not at the position physically where Rummy was, who's been playing week in, week out. So, but we've got George, who's come into the side again, who you know, he's starting to find his form again, and he's quite capable of filling that role. So yeah, Riz, there won't be pressure on Riz to come in and start games immediately, but we're hoping he'll have an impact sooner rather than later.
And any other news on the 7-day approaches that were made?
Yeah, we think we're going to get one more in after the weekend, so we'll hopefully have some news on that on Monday. Yeah, there's one we're pretty confident we'll get, and I think that will be us done then. We're very happy with the squad we've got. We just want to make sure that we're well covered in all areas, just in case we pick up some injuries. So, yeah, like I say, obviously can't say too much, but we're hopeful we'll get one in at the beginning of next week.
And looking forward to Leighton. What do you make of their challenge to you on Saturday? Obviously, one of the few teams to have taken points off Slough earlier in this season away from home.
Yeah, we didn't play well at Leighton earlier in the season. They worked ever so hard. They scored the winner. It was 1-0. They scored a winner right at the end. So yeah, it was one of our poorer displays this season, but they worked ever so hard and defended very well that day. So obviously we know, you know, they're at the lower end of the table, but that doesn't mean we're going to take them lightly. I think we'd be pretty stupid to take them lightly, having been beaten by them once. So we won't be doing that. We'll treat it like any other game, and you know, I saw they beat Marlow 4-2 last week. So they're no mugs, and there aren't any mugs in this league. You've only got to look at the results at the moment. Teams are beating each other. Even the teams in the bottom six are beating top sides. So no, we'll approach it as a massive game, as each of these last 9 are, and hopefully we can get the win.
And finally, you did the half marathon on Sunday. Very hot temperatures. How did you get on?
I did, yeah. It went well. I completed it in 1 hour 50. I'd done the Reading one 2 weeks ago in 1:56. So yeah, I was pleased to improve on my time. We managed to raise over £1,000 for leukemia and lymphoma research. So anyone who's listening who donated, thanks ever so much. Very much appreciated. It's a great cause. So I'm really pleased to be able to raise that sort of money for a great charity like that.
Well done to you on Sunday, and hopefully looking forward to 3 points at the weekend. Thank you very much for your time. I know you're a hungry boy. You want to get off to Nando's, get some dinner.
Yeah, we're off for a bit of a team bite to eat now. So thanks, John, and I'll see you at the weekend.
Cheers.